Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Now that you're here, I wanted to talk about something. I get a ton of questions. People say, Ryan, how do you stay so productive? And I have two answers to that. One is that productive is relative. While some people see me as productive, I'm just doing things that I enjoy, like making YouTube videos or podcasts or coding. It's all stuff that I just like to do, and I want to spend my time doing that. So to other people, it might seem productive. To me, I'm just having fun. But two, how I stay productive is staying organized. And I'm going to show you exactly how I stay organized, how I keep my calendar, how I log tasks, and how I essentially have a second brain with Evernote. The first thing I do to stay organized is have this handy dandy notebook. I've been keeping a notebook for about 3 years now. And I'm not someone that journals a lot, but when it comes to the day-to-day activities, the day-to-day jotting down things that I need to remember, my notebook is the first place I go. So most of the times, my notes will kind of look like this. It's just a page of loose notes. There's not really any objectives there. It's just notes that I'm taking as I'm going through my day. On a day like today, and on other days like weekends or days where I want to get stuff done, this is what it looks like. Here is my notebook for today, Tuesday, March 2nd, 2021. And the way I organize my daily notebooks and daily tasks is through a simple checkbox system. So I have record video clips, edit a video, send emails and calls for my job. I don't do this every single day. If you were to look at, yesterday's notes, there's no checkbox for those days. So I don't always have checklists. Here's one for last weekend. But whenever there's a time I really need to organize myself and get things done, I start with a checklist like this. So I keep this notebook almost every single day and usually make tasks and checklists to go through on a daily basis. But that ran into some problems. Whenever I would fill up a notebook, what would I do then? How would I keep track of all of my old notebooks, all of my old ideas, all of my old goals without just keeping a whole bunch of notebooks on hand? And that's where my second brain, Evernote, comes into play. Now, Evernote is a platform. It's a service that takes notes, but it does way, way more than just take notes. And this is kind of what it looks like. What Evernote allows me to do is create a completely custom filing system for all of the information that I have. Whether that is notes and checklists, whether that's goals, pictures, reminders, videos, audio recording, ideas, Evernote is a completely blank slate that lets me save all of my notes, all of my ideas on one place that is then sent to my phone, to my PC, to my laptop, and my work computer. It keeps everything in one place and has been absolutely transformational to how I stay productive and keep things organized. But now I want to take you through some of the magic of Evernote, how I use it on a daily basis to keep track and file all of the things that I do and use it as my second brain. I use my notebook to take daily notes and create daily checkboxes, so I have tasks that I can do on any given day. And I really like that. I like the physical way that it is. I like being able to carry it around and check off those boxes when I've done something. It makes me feel productive and it gives me a good feeling when I do something. But I don't like to make it for a full week. I don't like having to flip back through the pages, try to find the right page, and that's where Evernote really comes into play. And so this is what we are looking at. This is Evernote on the PC. And one of the amazing things about Evernote is that it goes from your phone to the PC to Mac. And I'll be honest, I think the Mac version is styled in a much better way. The PC version has the classic kind of boxy PC feel that works well, but it's not styled as well as the Mac version, I'll be honest. But we're looking at the PC version, and this is my ongoing to-do list. This is my weekly hub for information. Every time I have something I want to get done on any given week, or things that I need to keep track of for a week, or ideas for types of content and stuff, I will put this here. Evernote is a note-taking system, and it works on a note basis. Every single entry into Evernote is considered a note, but a note can be a ton of different things. So looking here, we have my checkboxes. So here's some things I want to get done this week, like an Evernote video. I want to look at traveling vans or for a road trip, make a podcast episode. And so you can keep these notes going, add things, take them off. You can click these boxes, have a checkbox so you can do that, and it will go off the list once you refresh. But then this is just completely customizable. As you see up at the top, there's a ton of ways to just make this a text file. It's basically like an advanced Word document. You can attach files such as pictures. You can attach things to your Google Drive. You can record an audio over it, take a photo. There's just a whole bunch of things you can do here. So for my weekly to-do list or weekly ongoing list, instead of putting it in my notebook, I like to put my weekly to-dos here. So what are the big things I want to get done this week? I will put that in my weekly to-do list. I also keep a section, since I make TikToks a lot, I keep a section for TikTok content. So if I run into a TikTok idea that I have, I can just put it here and I know I won't forget about it, because I used to come up with an idea, I'd be thinking, that's a great idea. And then 2 days later, I would have no idea what it was. I have my work to-dos that I want to do for the week. I have things that I want to remember, and there can be a lot of different things on this, but I wanted to make a video. I have content that I have recorded, so if I record content in advance, I'll jot it down here. So a bike video is coming soon. We have content I want to record this week, so the bike tire and Evernote video. And then we have a place for long-term to-dos. These are things that, might not be so important for me to do this week, but are important for me to get done in the long run. I don't have a great way to record on Mac, but wanted to show you that on my Mac, the styling is a lot better looking than PC. In my opinion, it syncs instantaneously to my PC and phone, but I do like the styling on Mac a little bit better. So let me take you through a few use cases as I'm using the app. So most of the times I'm going throughout my day, I'm doing my work, I'm looking at my calendar, I'm working, and usually ideas hit me like this. And so what I want to be able to do is go onto Evernote and quickly get that idea out of my head and onto Evernote where I know it's permanent. So I'll pick up my phone, I go to create a new note, and usually I'll just create the note in the title. Now, once I've made the title, I will usually just end it there, because once I have that title, which is the idea or whatever I have, that's usually enough for me to remember. But if I wanted to write down more specifics, I could do that below. So I can enter in some of the details there, and then what you're able to do is just click the check mark. And now, all of a sudden, that note is instantly shared to my Evernote. But let's show a few more examples. One of the magics of Evernote is that if I wanted to upload my list, or let's say I had an awesome meeting and I want to keep track of the notes, you can actually take pictures and it will do this awesome thing where it scans using the camera. So opening up the note, you can see all the different things you can include on your phone, whether that's images, take a camera, add an attachment. If you want to draw, add audio, a code block. There's so many things you can do, but I'm just going to use the camera. And now we're going to look at my notebook, and it got it. So let's save that. Oops. And this is such a cool feature, but it automatically saves my handwriting in a way that's searchable. So it turned that handwriting page into a document, and now I can save it there. And it sends it to my other Evernotes. Let's do one more use case. And this time I'm actually going to take a picture of my whiteboard. So I'll title that note whiteboard, and we'll do the same thing, except we're going to bring it over here to do the whiteboard. And so it automatically scanned in my whiteboard, but it saves the text and I can upload it there. Now, you can see there were other things that I could have done. So all of these different attachments there, that will just be a blank note. You can also do things like set an audio recording. So if you have an idea, you can talk through it. You can set a reminder. You can do a whole bunch of different stuff. But let me show you how that comes into Evernote on the other systems. Here is where everything comes in. So we just recorded those handful of notes, and we're just imagining I was going throughout my day. I had an idea, I had a to-do, I had a picture of something I wanted to just upload. I quickly, through my phone, did that as quick as possible. As soon as it hits my brain, I put it onto Evernote, and then I check it in and forget about it. Now, everything that I do comes into my inbox. So my inbox is what's called a notebook. This is a place where everything is stored, and I have Evernote set up to where I have an inbox. So every single note that I make, it goes to the inbox, and this is where it's held for me to come later and then categorize things. So I always have my ongoing to-do list at the top of my inbox, and that's a starred note. But here are the notes we had. So here's just a blank note. Funny thing is you can see the latitude and longitude I recorded that note at, but since it's blank, I'm actually going to move this one to trash. But here's some of the notes that we had. So here is a note I had the other week. You get the highest return when you invest in yourself. We have this note that was the idea to teach dogs to pick up trash and to train them to do recycled materials. Here's my weekly notes and the picture that I uploaded. Here was the picture of the whiteboard. It's small in this image, but it is there. So these are the notes that just instantly show up to my inbox. From here, this is where I can file them. And this is where notebooks come into play. So on this left-hand side here, I'm going to click Notebooks. And within that Notebooks, these are all of the essentially categories where I store my notes. So I have 4 different stacks of notebooks. I have a personal stack, a content stack, a work stack, and some various projects. As you might imagine, under each of these stacks, it accords to different things in my life. So for everything related to content, I have all of these different notebooks that categorize the notes. So in here, I have a general content stack. I have audio I've recorded, content pictures I've taken. I have podcasts, raps, website, and YouTube. So all of the different ideas or various notes that I've created are sorted here. Let's just click on the YouTube stack to see the types of notes I've kept here. So a Sam Talk clip I have in here, my bike adventure image or video that has some links as well as images I used, and some of my other videos and things that have to do with YouTube are kept in that YouTube notebook under the content stack. Now, let's look at my personal stack, and this is where things get kind of crazy, and this is where it works really well for me, but everyone else is going to have their own way of organizing their stacks of notebooks. So we can look within my personal stack, and now we have a whole bunch of notebooks within the personal stack that I record things for. So whether that is home improvement and trees that I had imagined wanting to be in my yard, whether that's golf and the wedges and the golf clubs that I wanted to get, whether that is contacts and all of the people that I've met that I want to keep on my contact list, whether that's ideas that are non-business ideas, there's 26 of those, or in my case, business ideas. All of my random business ideas I sort into my business idea notebook. And so that way, everything is just sorted in a way that's really intuitive for me to find, and it all basically self-categorizes and is permanent. So now each time I create a note, it comes to my inbox, and then I will sort that into the notebook. So my whiteboard, it's got some random stuff. I'm going to just drag and drop this into the random shit notebook. That just holds my random shit. I have one for jokes, and if I come up with jokes, I will, leave them there. I have things for logs and calendars that I've created. It really is just a one-stop shop for all of the notes, all of the ideas, the permanent categorization of things that I have thought of or done. And that's why I call it my second brain. The last thing I wanted to show you is how easy it is for me to then find notes. So I've showed you how easy I can take notes with my phone. As something comes to my head, I just jot it down on my phone and it's shared out. I've shown you how easy it is for me to categorize notes, to look at these notes that come through my inbox and just drag them into the notebook that makes sense for that particular note. But now I wanted to show you how easy it is for me to find something, to go back through and find a note that I had thought of. And this is the search function. This works on all of the devices. So whether I am searching on my phone, whether I'm searching on the PC or Mac, I can search super easily. All you have to do is hit search and then type in anything. You can type in anything you want, and as long as there is a note that has that word or a category, it will come back with the results. So let's just type in idea. I just wanted to search through all of the ideas I've come up with. And so here we have whiteboard that I put in my random shit, but there is the idea there. We have weekly notes that have ideas. We have the idea to pick up trash. We have writing ideas, TikTok ideas. We have something that was a book idea. Every single thing that has to do with either the idea tag or idea notebooks then comes in here. So one awesome thing is I searched for idea. It found 79 notes in my system. And if I look right here, it actually found this. So this was an old document that I had that has the word ideas written on it with my own handwriting. So Evernote went through, it recognized ideas even in my own handwriting and brought it back to me as the result for the search ideas. This has been so amazing. Now, let's say I wanted to search through quotes. I had a conversation with someone at a bar. I said, hey, I have a whole bunch of quotes that I've made up, but they say, hey, let me see some examples. And I can just go through on my phone and type in quotes and all of a sudden have all the different notes related to quotes. Either quotes I came up with, quotes that I tweeted, quotes that I've made, quotes that I've heard, where they came from. So if I said, hey, this quote's from, F. Scott Fitzgerald or whoever, I have that here. Here's another thing, when it comes to trying to remember something, I remembered several years ago, I was in this social entrepreneurship meeting. I was talking with people who were social entrepreneurs. They had an idea. I can't remember what that idea was. I can't remember what the names of those people were, and I can't remember what they were doing. All I remember is I had a meeting around social entrepreneurship. So let me type that in. So I just typed in social entrepreneur. I didn't even finish it because I can't remember how to say social entrepreneurship. And we have a handful of logs that come back up. And look, here we are. See, these are books that I've read, an old business idea, problems that I see, and then bam, social entrepreneurship mentor section. I don't remember the name of these people, and it's showing me that it remembers or it's picking up social out of this handwriting that I had. And so it pulls me back to that note. The date was 4/23 of 2020, and it gives me that note back. So I didn't remember any of the details besides it was about social entrepreneurship. I had logged that away, and through the simple search, I can then find that so easily. And that is why Evernote has been so powerful for me. It's the easiest way for me to store a thought or a note into a permanent spot. It lets me categorize and sort and store everything in a way that makes sense for me, and then search back through. It doesn't become a black hole, a vault for stuff to go to never be seen again. It becomes a place where things are categorized to where I can search back through and find the things that I need to find when I need to find them. That is it. Through Evernote, Notes, my whiteboard, and then one thing I didn't mention was Google Calendars, which just keeps me on schedule for meetings and work mostly. I don't use it a ton, but through all of those things, especially Evernote, which I call my second brain, is how I stay so productive and how I'm able to sort my ideas, instantly take things from my brain, document and categorize those so I can find them later. And it really is one of those tools that has kind of changed my life. There's been so few things that have been so impactful, and using a notebook and using Evernote have really been two of those things that have made a huge difference for me. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it and would love to hear how you either stay organized or categorize your notes or even take notes. I know there's some other tools like OneNote or Apple Notes out there that just haven't quite worked for me how I think they have for other people. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and as always, thank you for keeping it real with Ryan.